And log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
All right, 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Beautiful looking Thursday morning. Our next guest is Francisca Brown. Boy, isn't that a pretty name, Francisca?
It's beautiful.
Pretty name.
Yeah.
Francisca is the director of the African American Market Segment for Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. She's going to talk to us about the results of the Northwestern Mutual Elements of Success Survey and how African Americans can make solid strides in 2016 toward improving their financial situations. I'm not African American, but I'm going to pay attention.
Yes.
Because I want to improve my financial situation. I'm going to eavesdrop on you, Francisca. Good morning, Francisca. How are you?
Good. How are you guys this morning?
Good. Yeah, I want to learn a little bit about that money thing, too. Just maybe you can help me out, too. I'm not dark enough to fit this particular category, but, but I'm going to be eavesdropping. Where are you calling from?
I'm actually calling from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, yay.
That's where Robin's from.
Good job.
Did you have any cheese today?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Really.
It's a stereotype of that town, isn't it?
That's right.
Robin's leading me to believe it's all about cheese and bratwurst.
And beer.
And beer.
So you want me to tell you a little bit about financial success?
Yes, I do. Francisca, this sounds like there's a little phone issue, so I apologize if it sounds like we're talking over you. It's not our intent, but I just realized you're probably thinking we're being awfully rude. So talk to us about the survey. What did the survey reveal?
Well, what we found is African Americans have really big dreams about their financial futures, but there's a significant gap in where they are today and where they want to be in the future. So what we found is that you really have to look at what is it going to do to make a difference. One of the things they looked at is how to be debt-free, how to retire comfortably and earning a good income, and leaving a legacy for their family. So just like you said, these things apply to everyone, but these were particular things that came out in our survey about African Americans.
Do you know what one of the things that was sent to me to prepare for this interview that kind of was an eye-opener? It never occurred to me that the social divide between black and white Americans, in this regard anyway, is the financial advisor. That I guess white people go to financial advisors more easily or more readily than a black person would.
You know, that's a really good point, because what happens is what we're finding is that from a generation standpoint, that from the Caucasian market, you may have talked about that with your parents, whereas in the African American market, sometimes we're first generation. Mm-hmm, so we're the first generation to have gone to college and having success financially. So you're right. We don't know much about financial advisors for that standpoint, but I think it's about talking to a financial advisors. And what we found in the African American market was 7 in 10 don't even have a long-term financial plan. And then 1 in 5 have set goals. So that's a big divide. So how do we get them to be aware that there's financial advisors out there to help them, and where do they go?
So talk to the listener who's saying to himself or herself, well, that's probably good for the $100,000 a year person, but I'm the $30,000 or $40,000 a year person. They could benefit from this too, couldn't they?
They can definitely benefit from this. I tell people all the time when I'm talking to my friends, I started my financial planning journey when I was 21 years old.
Wow, good for you.
It's all about talking to that advisor and starting where you're at. So I was a recent college grad at that point, and what they did is they created a unique plan for me at that time. And as I've grown and my income has risen, they've actually said, okay, what do we do differently and how do we plan differently?
And that's one of the key things that you said in your statement right now, is that you are a college graduate. So more people should stay in school, not drop out, graduate from high school, and then do all they can through scholarships to get into the college of their choice and actually have a career goal and not just kind of sail on through life.
Correct. You make a really good point, having those plans earlier on. And one of the things that we are doing for our community is we actually start with the Milwaukee school systems early, and we have a program where we start teaching financial literacy at an early age. So we want them to start out very early thinking about what their financial goals are and how to reach them. The other piece that we have is for our millennials who love social media and love online, we have something called mintgrad.org, where they can actually go in and look at how do I start planning early.
Okay, say that again and spell what you said. I wasn't able to write that down.
It's called the mintgrad.org. THEMINT.org.
Okay, the mintgrab.org. Okay, excellent. And what is that site used for again?
It is actually for college grad, young professionals, children, parents that want their children to start out early, looking at how do I start to financially plan. I love with my nephew, I give him $1 and he puts it towards his savings. And so he wants to buy that big thing, but we teach him early about what does it mean to save and not buy things because you want it now, but save for the future so that you can get it.
Oh gosh, and the credit companies, they want you to get as much on their cards as possible, and that's a temptation, especially as you're entering college.
Right. And for the African American market, what we're really trying to do is tell people, if you put a plan together, how do we not start out being in debt with credit cards? And if you do have credit card debt, what do we need to do to plan to start to paying that debt off early?
Yeah, get that stuff down. Exactly. Good. Well, that's good advice for anybody. Mm-hmm. But I was trying to figure out what is the separation between white people and black people in this subject, and it sounds like professional advice is the big issue.
It is a big issue because if you don't know about it, you're not aware, you don't have access.
Is it a trust thing? Is there a trust element there? We need to.
There is a trust element, but what I've also found is that no one's ever talked to them about it. So there's a trust with.
So that's what you're doing.
Right. We just have to be talking about it more and making people aware of what's available to them. And one of the things that we do is we have nationwide, we have financial reps across the country so that you can actually go and sit down and talk to someone about your individual goals. But the other piece that we're doing is how do we get out into the community and really reach them and tell the story about financial planning. So we're actually not just doing this from you call us. We're going out and reaching out to our community to talk to them about it also.
Well, this would be something great for businesses to embrace. That way they could have guest speakers come in to address this issue, and then you can also go to the clubs around town like the Rotary, the Shriners, the Kiwanis to make these presentations as well.
That's exactly what we do. So what we look at is for what are those partnerships locally, and what we found is that if you just start out by talking, and even the people that are the most successful sometimes don't know what they don't know. So making sure that they have access and are aware and having those talking points is really key. So
part of this conversation seems to be focused on like a young college age or just out of college age. What about the 30-something, 40-something, they've got a small business, that person? I'm guessing that this would apply to them as well.
This is also key for small business owners because what about your succession planning? How are you going to exit that business? What are you going to do? Are you going to hand it down to your children? Are you going to sell? So we actually have our financial advisors that work with small business owners to what does that plan look like for them to retire and exit.
No, see, what I love about this is that it's like a grassroots thing. It's like you're taking it, you're making it your mission, mm-hmm. and you're reaching out to more people than you probably realize. Some of them will call you, but others will be talking about it among themselves,
right.
And it'll make the whole country better if you think about it. Not to, make it grandiose yet, but I think it is pretty grand. Exactly what's happening here.
It is, and that's why I love what I do, and that's why I love working for Northwestern Mutual, that we're actually putting a focus on this so that we can be the center of our clients' lives, financial lives.
And this also helps in the political realm as well, because a lot of people that are elected, they are automatically drawing down a lot of large salaries, and they need some kind of guidance where to put their money.
That's exactly correct. We do want to have guidance. So one of the things that we find is that some people are making a lot of money, but where are they putting their assets so that they're making the most and can actually leave that legacy behind, and not everything going to certain things that they don't want it to go to.
Francisca, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us about this. I want to make sure the listeners have the important information so they can go online. So far, you gave us the mintgrab.org, and Robin will put that on the Facebook link, on the Facebook page with the link to this interview, as well as YouTube. Any other websites we should know about?
NorthwesternMutual.com.
NorthwesternMutual.com. That website is already on the site. Francisca Brown, thank you so much for being on the air with us today. Stay warm up in cold Milwaukee.
Thank you.
If you're ever in
Have a good
Florida,
day.
come say hi.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Calvin Coolidge was the last president to officially visit Cuba. Barack Obama will be the next.
A visit by President Obama could be seen as an official acceptance of the Castro regime for the first time since Jack Kennedy initiated what we now call the embargo.
Fox's Eben Brown, the White House expected to make an official announcement today. Some interesting poll results in the presidential race.
Senator Ted Cruz is on top of the most recent national poll, with Donald Trump dropping to second place. This comes as Trump has recently been threatening to sue Cruz over the senator's campaign ad, which claims Trump is pro-choice. The Donald's attorney sent the Cruz campaign a letter demanding he take down the ad. And on the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton is now in a statistical tie with Senator Bernie Sanders in Nevada.
Fox's Jackie Ibanez. Toyota recalling nearly 3 million RAV4 SUVs over a seatbelt problem. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I want to be a glass countertop in a new home.
When I grow up,
I want to be a kid's best birthday present. When I grow up, I want to be a football stadium.
when I grow up, I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day.
When I grow up, I want to be a fancy backsplash.
I want to be a bike that races around the country.
When I grow up,
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
I want to be a rocking chair on a sunny porch.
I want to be a skyscraper. I want to be
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service advertisement brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Happy New Year and howdy, folks. Did you ever have someone get fresh with you? RL here to tell you what to do. Just get along down to Dairy Queen Silver Springs and keep your New Year's resolution to eat fresh. That's right, fresh garden salads topped with crunchy fried or grilled chicken, or a fresh banana shake, or a banana split. That's the kind of fresh folks like at Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services, when your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements. From damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.